Abraham Lincoln, the 16th President of the United States, is a true American icon. Born in a log cabin in Kentucky in 1809, Lincoln's early life was marked by poverty and hardship. These challenges shaped his character, instilling values of hard work, determination, and justice. Lincoln's family moved to Indiana when he was a young boy, facing the wilderness of the frontier. Young Lincoln helped his father clear land, build fences, and plant crops. Despite limited formal education, Lincoln was a voracious reader, borrowing books and walking miles to the nearest library. He studied law on his own, teaching himself the intricacies of the legal system. Lincoln's early experiences shaped his worldview and commitment to equality for all. He believed in the power of hard work and determination. These values guided him on his journey from a log cabin to the White House. As Lincoln grew older, he sought opportunities beyond the farm. He worked as a storekeeper, postmaster, and riverboat pilot, developing exceptional interpersonal skills. Lincoln's honesty, integrity, and ability to connect with people became evident. Drawn to public service, Lincoln entered politics, serving in the Illinois state legislature. He became known for his strong convictions and commitment to the Union. His eloquence and ability to articulate complex issues gained him recognition. Lincoln emerged as a powerful voice against the expansion of slavery. His principled stance on this issue thrust him onto the national stage. It set the stage for his eventual rise to the presidency. Life in Indiana was tough for the Lincoln family. Young Abraham worked tirelessly alongside his father, clearing land and tending to their small farm. Despite the hardships, Lincoln found solace in learning, borrowing books from neighbors. Lincoln's stepmother, Sarah Bush Lincoln, encouraged his love of learning. Even as a teenager, Lincoln was known for his honesty and integrity. He took on odd jobs to help support his family, earning a reputation for being fair and hardworking. As Lincoln matured, he developed a keen interest in law and politics. He engaged in lively debates, showcasing his sharp wit and clear articulation. He yearned for opportunities beyond the farm, dreaming of making a difference in the world. Lincoln's formal education was limited, but his thirst for knowledge was insatiable. He devoured books on history, law, literature, and philosophy, teaching himself new concepts. Lincoln understood that education was the key to a better future. He honed his writing skills and studied grammar and vocabulary. In 1830, at the age of 21, Lincoln moved with his family to Illinois, seeking new opportunities. Illinois in the 1830s was a land of opportunity. Lincoln found work as a storekeeper in New Salem, quickly becoming a popular figure. He joined the Black Hawk War as a volunteer, rising to the rank of captain. After his military service, Lincoln held various jobs, further developing his interpersonal skills. During this time, Lincoln's interest in law intensified, and he began studying law books in earnest. With a law license in hand, Lincoln moved to Springfield, Illinois in 1837 and began practicing law. He quickly gained a reputation as a skilled and honest attorney. In 1834, he successfully campaigned for a seat in the Illinois House of Representatives. As a state legislator, Lincoln championed improvements in infrastructure, education, and economic development. In 1846, Lincoln was elected to the United States House of Representatives, representing Illinois' 7th Congressional District. The issue of slavery loomed large over the nation in the 1850s. In 1858, Lincoln ran for the United States Senate against Stephen Douglas. The Lincoln-Douglas debates became legendary for their intellectual rigor and impact on the national conversation about slavery. Although Lincoln lost the Senate election, the debates catapulted him to national prominence. Lincoln's performance established him as a leading contender for the presidency. In 1860, the Republican Party nominated Abraham Lincoln for president. Lincoln campaigned on a message of preserving the Union. The 1860 presidential election was one of the most consequential in American history. Following Lincoln's election, 11 Southern states seceded from the Union. On April 12, 1861, Confederate forces fired on Fort Sumter, marking the beginning of the Civil War. Abraham Lincoln assumed the presidency on March 4, 1861, inheriting a nation on the brink of collapse. The Southern states had begun to secede even before his inauguration. Lincoln, in his inaugural address, pleaded for unity. The weight of the nation rested heavily on Lincoln's shoulders. The first shots of the Civil War were fired on April 12, 1861, at Fort Sumter. Lincoln called for 75,000 volunteers to suppress the rebellion. The early years of the war were marked by Union defeats. Lincoln faced the daunting task of mobilizing the North's resources and finding a capable military leader. The Civil War was a conflict of unprecedented scale and brutality. Lincoln, deeply affected by the human cost of the war, never wavered in his belief that the Union must be preserved. Lincoln's search for a capable military leader was arduous, finally settling on Ulysses S. Grant in 1864. The Battle of Antietam, fought in September 1862, was a pivotal turning point. On January 1, 1863, Lincoln issued the Emancipation Proclamation. The proclamation transformed the Civil War into a fight to end slavery. It energized the abolitionist movement and inspired enslaved people in the South. The proclamation also discouraged European powers from recognizing the Confederacy. Lincoln's leadership during the Civil War was marked by resolve and compassion. He grappled with the moral dilemmas of war and the challenge of preserving a nation torn apart. Lincoln's ability to connect with ordinary people was one of his greatest strengths. His speeches, including the Gettysburg Address, became iconic expressions of American ideals. In the Gettysburg Address, Lincoln reaffirmed the principles for which the Union was fighting. The year 1864 brought both triumph and tragedy for Lincoln. The Union Army, under Grant's leadership, began to make significant gains against the Confederacy. General William T. Sherman's capture of Atlanta in September 1864 boosted Northern morale and paved the way for Lincoln's re-election. The 1864 presidential election was a referendum on Lincoln's leadership and the future of the nation. Lincoln faced a tough challenge from George B. McClellan, his former general, who ran on a platform of peace and reconciliation. Despite the ongoing war and the deep divisions within the country, Lincoln secured a decisive victory, winning 212 electoral votes to McClellan's 21. Lincoln's second inaugural address, delivered on March 4, 1865, was a masterpiece of reconciliation and hope. With the war nearing its end, Lincoln called for malice toward none and charity for all, urging the nation to bind up its wounds and move forward together in peace. Tragically, Lincoln's vision of a peaceful Reconstruction was cut short. On April 14, 1865, just days after the Confederate surrender at Appomattox Courthouse, Lincoln was assassinated by John Wilkes Booth, a Confederate sympathizer, while attending a play at Ford's Theater in Washington, D.C. As the Civil War raged on, Abraham Lincoln grappled with the issue of slavery. He understood the moral repugnance of slavery and personally opposed its expansion. However, he also recognized the delicate balance of power within the Union. Many in the North, while opposed to slavery, were more concerned with preserving the Union than with abolishing slavery outright. Lincoln believed that the president did not have the constitutional authority to abolish slavery within states where it was already legal. He feared that such a move would alienate border states that remained loyal to the Union, such as Maryland, Kentucky, and Missouri. He also recognized that a premature attempt at emancipation could backfire, potentially strengthening the Confederacy and prolonging the war. The tide began to turn in the summer of 1862. The Union victory at the Battle of Antietam, though costly, provided Lincoln with the political capital he needed to make a bold move. The victory also effectively ended the Confederacy's hopes of gaining recognition and support from European powers. Lincoln recognized that the time was ripe for a decisive blow against the Confederacy, one that would strike at the very heart of its economic and social order. He decided to use the power of the presidency to issue an executive order that would change the course of the war and the nation forever. On September 22, 1862, Lincoln issued the preliminary Emancipation Proclamation. It declared that all enslaved people in states still in rebellion against the United States on January 1, 1863, would be then, thenceforward, and forever free. The proclamation was a carefully crafted document designed to achieve several strategic objectives. Firstly, it aimed to weaken the Confederacy by depriving it of enslaved labor, which was essential to its war effort and economy. The proclamation encouraged enslaved people to flee to Union lines, where they were promised freedom and protection. Thousands of formerly enslaved people joined the Union Army and Navy, contributing directly to the Union's eventual victory. Secondly, the Emancipation Proclamation was a powerful moral statement that redefined the purpose of the war. It transformed the conflict from a struggle to preserve the Union into a fight for human freedom and equality. This moral clarity resonated with abolitionists in the North and abroad, bolstering support for the Union cause. The Emancipation Proclamation did not immediately free all enslaved people in the United States. It only applied to Confederate states in rebellion, not to border states that had remained loyal to the Union. However, it represented a crucial step towards the eventual abolition of slavery throughout the nation. The Emancipation Proclamation had a profound impact on the course of the Civil War and the future of the United States. It was a watershed moment in American history, marking a turning point in the nation's long struggle with slavery. The proclamation energized the abolitionist movement both in the North and abroad. The proclamation also had a significant impact on the Confederacy. The loss of enslaved labor crippled the Southern economy and weakened its ability to wage war. The proclamation also sowed discord within the Confederacy, as some questioned the morality of fighting to preserve slavery in light of Lincoln's pronouncements. The Emancipation Proclamation did not end slavery in the United States. It would take the passage of the 13th Amendment to the Constitution in 1865 to permanently abolish slavery throughout the nation. However, the proclamation paved the way for that momentous change, setting in motion the final chapter of slavery's long and dark history in America. Lincoln's Emancipation Proclamation remains a testament to the power of leadership and the enduring legacy of the fight for freedom and equality. It serves as a reminder that even in the midst of a brutal civil war, a nation founded on the ideals of liberty can find the courage to confront its own demons and strive to live up to its founding principles. The nation rejoiced as news of the Confederate surrender at Appomattox Courthouse spread. The Civil War, with its unimaginable bloodshed, was finally over. Abraham Lincoln had achieved his paramount goal, the preservation of the Union. He believed a government of the people, by the people, for the people, should not perish. Lincoln did not live to see a fully reunited nation. Days after the surrender, John Wilkes Booth shot Lincoln at Ford's Theater. The nation, still reeling from victory, was plunged into mourning. Lincoln's assassination was a devastating loss, robbing the nation of its leader. His death cast a shadow over Reconstruction, the process of rebuilding the South. Despite his untimely death, Lincoln's legacy as one of the greatest American presidents remained secure. He preserved the Union, abolished slavery, and redefined liberty and equality. His words and deeds continue to inspire future generations, reminding them of the power of leadership and the enduring strength of the American spirit. Abraham Lincoln's journey from a log cabin to the White House remains a testament to the enduring power of the American dream. His life story, filled with hardship, perseverance, and unwavering commitment to principle, continues to resonate with people around the world. Lincoln's legacy extends far beyond his presidency. He is remembered as a symbol of hope, resilience, and the enduring belief in a more perfect union. Lincoln's words, etched in stone on monuments and memorials, continue to inspire and challenge us. His Gettysburg Address, with its timeless message of equality and national unity, remains one of the most eloquent speeches in American history. His second inaugural address stands as a testament to his belief in compassion, forgiveness, and hope. Lincoln's legacy lives on in those who strive to build a more just and equitable society. His belief in democracy, equality, and opportunity continues to inspire social movements worldwide. His example reminds us that leadership and courage can overcome even the most daunting challenges. As we reflect on Lincoln's life, let us remember his words, "With malice toward none, with charity for all." May his spirit guide us as we work to build a nation reflecting liberty, equality, and justice for all.